Is the bull market over? I think that's a question everybody's thinking about. So actually, I brought to you guys an expert, the best guy to ask, the youngest actually person to be trading and doing analysis on Bitcoin, which is Efe Crypto Kid is here with me. I'm gonna ask him the question. Efe, do you think actually the bull market is over? Do you think the gains are over, or do you think people are still should be looking into altcoins and into investing into crypto?
Well, thank you so much, Ahmed, for having me on. Just a quick intro. I'm Crypto Kid. I've been doing TA and Bitcoin-oriented TA and content for the past 4 years. I started when I was 14. I'm not sure if I'm still the youngest, but I think I was when I started. But regarding Bitcoin and the crypto market in general, I think Bitcoin is approaching the top very soon, and I want to show you a quick chart later on regarding what I think in the mid to long term for Bitcoin specifically. But there's also a chance that Bitcoin topped out already, which I know may sound scary, but you need to understand that since the bottom of this bull market, or since the bottom of the bear market, Bitcoin has already went up by 8 times. And when we look at this chart, I think the make or break indicator for Bitcoin is the market support band. So if you look at this bull and bear market support band is a combination of the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA, right? And historically, in the previous cycle in 2017, while you're in your upwards parabola for Bitcoin, Bitcoin comes down to the bull and bear market support band and continues the parabola. This cycle has been different because this cycle's parabola is a much more steeper one. The gradient is much less steeper, and that's understandable due to diminishing returns. So sometimes the bull and bear market support band wasn't enough, and we came down to the 54 simple moving average to get that bounce and continue the upwards trajectory. So what I'm looking at for Bitcoin at the moment is this bull bear market support band. If we break below it at 107.5k, where they confirmed weekly candle, that's the point where I'm going to be closing my personal long positions and actually shorting Bitcoin with a take profit at 94.95, which is where this 54 simple moving average is. The point at which for me the bull market would be considered over is if the bull and bear and the 54 simple moving average are broken to the downside, as that is how Bitcoin ends bull markets historically in every single cycle. But if you're asking Crypto, okay, what are your probabilities for if this cycle has ended for Bitcoin or if we're going to get the continuation? I actually think that based off of the price action over the past week specifically, the chances of Bitcoin continuing to one more leg to the upside are much more probable. This bull market having ended at 124. So what I'm looking at is September still being a little bit rough, but going into October, I think, or the last week of September, first 2 weeks of October, in October, Bitcoin can tend to the M2 money supply correlation, which indicates that Bitcoin should be at 135, 140. And in my opinion, that price makes sense for a multitude of different reasons that we won't go into today. But I think Bitcoin can go to 135, 140. And then we see one final transfer of capital from Ethereum and altcoins into Bitcoin during that final upwards movement. Ethereum currently at 4.4, altcoins still at pretty incredible lows apart from Solana, BNB, XRP. I think beginning of October to the end of October, we're going to start seeing Ethereum reach a much larger all-time high, altcoins seeing much more capital flow, with the Clarity Act, with the Genius Act being more thoroughly implemented. So I'm still in Bitcoin. I'm accumulating Solana, BNB, Ethereum.
You haven't taken any profits yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I will take profits on Bitcoin if the bull and bear market support band breaks. But so far, I'm still accumulating.
And what do you think about the Fed meeting on the 17th, I think, of September?
Correct. So markets have, in my opinion, priced in up to 50 basis points of a rate cut this year. So I don't really expect any sort of massive move up or down based off of this Fed meeting. I think if we don't get a Fed cut, then that would lead to a major dump. And if you get anything above 25 basis points in one meeting, that will lead to a major pump. But if the expectation, which is over 90%, the Fed cutting rates at 25 basis points, if we do see that, then I just think markets will be neutral. Well,
thank you very much, Efe. I think that's a very interesting take, to be honest, because I've also been saying that yet we haven't been confirming the all-time high on Bitcoin. We can either be at an all-time high or can still make a new all-time high. So technically, this is a very good balanced view of not calling for the top or being very, very bullish at the top. However, you can still actually make a new all-time high. So I think that's very, very crucial take. And we can also see the possibility of the money flow coming out of Ethereum as it made an all-time high for some altcoins to be pumping. So I think that's a very interesting take. And thank you. And thanks for watching, guys.